Thank you, Emily. Well, my dream has always been to run a marathon. Unfortunately, at this time, I have not completed that, but this man has several times over.
Yes, Glenn Avery is joining us today in the studio. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
You've run a marathon on every single continent, 7 continents.
That's correct.
Is there one that stands out?
Actually, 2. Of course, Antarctica was phenomenal.
Explain that. How do you run? It must be freezing. And what are you wearing?
Well, actually, we ran on King George Island, which is mostly glacier, but there's a little bit of it that's actually mud, gravel, and streams. And so there was a 13-mile loop, which we did twice. I actually ran amongst about 4 international research stations, Russian, Chilean, Chinese, and then Uruguayan.
How cold was it?
Well, actually, you're not going to believe this. It was 40 degrees raw temperature.
Oh.
But because Antarctica is the coldest as well as the windiest continent, it brought it down to about 10. So I had, as they saw in the Antarctica picture, I had 2 or 3 layers on to keep warm.
How long did it take you?
It was not good. It took me about 6 hours and 20 minutes. I had to change some clothes and my shoes because I planted my foot in a stream and it was about a foot deep of mud. And so I had a second pair of shoes, so I had to change them. So that took some time.
At what point did you do that? How far into the race?
That was about at mile 9.
Oh, wow.
And
so you had quite a ways to go.
Yes.
Tell us about Athens.
Athens is special to me because it was my first marathon ever. And it was actually...
There's some photos of it?
Yes, that was the finish. This also, there was an iceberg with a cormorant on top of it. And I did finish the Antarctic. But the Athens Marathon was special because it was my first one. And it was the one where I learned about myself the most. I actually had developed a hamstring problem before that marathon, had physical therapy, felt I was doing okay. And then about 3 miles into the race, it kicked in. It started giving me trouble.
Wow.
So it was mind over matter for 23 miles. And the little story here about the Greek people.
They fed you lamb?
Well, no. Actually, when I was coming into the city, because I started in Marathon, where the battle site 490 BC was, and I ended up no runners around me at all. Couldn't see any runners around me. We're in the city, and of course the mind plays tricks on itself after 6 hours. And I was not sure whether I was supposed to go straight or turn right at this particular intersection. I turned right because our buses, when tours, had gone that way. And there was a line of cars waiting at the next intersection at a light. And there was a fellow who I don't know who it is, never will know, but he saw me in the mirror, rearview mirror, saw the bib, saw the outfit, and he went like this out the window.
You were going the wrong way?
Was going the wrong way. He pointed me to the stadium,
you.
which I couldn't see because it was tucked away on the side. So
I'm going to do a little bragging because I know you would never do that. You're a technology librarian at Houghton College.
Yes.
Normally. You have to take breaks take little leaves to do these marathons?
Yes.
You've been running at the indoor track at Houghton for 10 years after a 20-year hiatus?
Yes. I hadn't run for 20 years. And in fact, the first time I went up on that track to run, I walked 2 laps, 1/9 of a mile each, and then tried to run 1 lap and just about died. And I built up over time so I could run a marathon. So.
I am in complete awe.
No, thank you.
Because a half marathon is like a huge feat for me.
You've done 51 of them.
Actually, I did one in Georgia a couple weeks ago, so that's 52.
That's why we missed it.
Yes.
You ran right by us there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Mr. Avery, thank you so much for
you're
joining
welcome.
us. We'll have to run together one time, maybe on your 1-mile run.
There we go.
He runs every other day, 6 miles.
Yes.
About 6 or 7 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite a feat.
I'm amazed.
We
Very
sure
nice.
are.
Thank you.
We're going to see